So, Scott, what was your reaction when you saw the bracket?
It is always great to hear your name called. I remember when I was first coaching at Valparaiso, and we'd win the conference tournament, and you know you're an automatic qualifier, but you'd go through the brackets, and sometimes they hadn't read your name, and you're on the last bracket. You're like, they know we won that championship. Like, we qualify, right? So it's always great to hear your name. Nothing will ever be more dramatic than probably the first time, and still might be the most excited I've ever been. But this team finished with the #1 strength schedule in the country. I mean, there's 363 schools. That's like hitting the lottery to have the #1 strength of schedule. And we went against the #1 ranked defense in the country. So definitely been proven and battle tested. But probably the thing I'm most proud about is we're the only school that's had 4 straight top 3 seeds in the NCAA tournament. And there's a lot of great programs, a lot of great coaches, a lot of great tradition, but to be the only school to be a top 3 seed the last 4 years really is something that our administration, our fan base, our players, staff can be really proud of.
What do you know about Colgate?
You asked me in about 6 hours, I can tell you a lot. So the great thing is Tweety Carter on our staff said, so how long will it take for us to get film on Colgate? And I said about 10 minutes. So what's great is people want to know, like, what's your next couple days like? I mean, literally, you can watch every game that Colgate played this year. So you're inundated with information, and you find out a lot about your opponent really quickly. And as a staff, you divide up, if you're blessed to win the first game, who you might play in the second, so you're already working on that as well. But everybody will be dialed in, and glad we're playing on Friday. Give us another day to rest, recover.
Obviously, Colgate in years previous have been a popular upset pick for other teams. I think they went against Wisconsin a couple years ago, and that was kind of a popular upset pick. What do you guys have to do, I guess? What mentality are you taking to not be popular?
Well, I think this year, as much as any other year, if you look, what was it, 18, you guys might know this, Matt, 18 top-ranked opponents or conference seeds didn't even make the championship game. I mean, like, so the parity, I mean, you can take all the seeding and throw it out the window. You better be ready to play. This is not a 4 or 7. The best team doesn't win. It's who's best for that 40 minutes. And really, it comes down to you got a lot of guys that don't want to go home, and that's why they're in the NCAA tournament. And who's able to execute the best stays around.
Anything in your experience that stands out to you about some of these teams that are maybe smaller conference teams that are more regular, at these tournaments, rather than someone getting into the tournament for the first time in a while?
Yeah.
Or the kids on, I guess.
Good question. Yeah, normally there is no substitute for experience in life, period. It doesn't guarantee success, but every coach would rather have more experienced players than less experienced. So teams that have been in the tournament multiple years, usually, I remember just on my own experience, the first year we got into the tournament at Valpo, we were so excited to be there, we forgot we had to really play to stay, and then the next year you're like, hey, we want to do better than we did last year. So the focus is just turned up when you're there multiple times, or you've had players that maybe didn't have a good experience the last time and they're more dialed in. And again, there's no perfect answer, because you can do whatever you want, and it doesn't mean in 40 minutes you're going to be the best team or the last one standing.
Obviously, you play such tough competition in the Big 12. How nice will it be to just play somebody else?
Well, I think the parity and the quality of player and coaching is tremendous across the board, but the familiarity that you have with conference schools, I mean, all their play calls, all their tendencies, and just playing somebody different is so refreshing for everybody this time of year. At the same time, it really frees up the offenses, because you have to learn about an opponent, but if you've never played against somebody before, you don't have that firsthand experience, and obviously you don't know as much from people you have never played compared to people you play 2 or 3 times every year.
What's the bounce back kind of from the Big 12 tournament, obviously, you know, a tough moment there, but then you have a really
Yeah.
kind of joyous moment today hearing your name called. I mean, from a coaching perspective.
Well, I think that's the life in the Big 12. I mean, you have a great win, you have a tough loss, and I mean, we didn't play against Iowa State. You watch the film, and a lot of times you watch film and you're like, we didn't play as well as I thought we did, or you played better than you thought you did. And we had some good shots and we didn't make them. We had some things we can improve on, but I think everybody saw just how hard it is to beat Iowa State and Hilton South. And I thought when we cut it to 11, if we'd have had a couple threes drop, it might have been a different game down the stretch. So, again, life in the Big 12. You have big wins, and then you got to bounce back and from tough losses, and it all goes hand in hand.
Can you say anything to Jacoby right now? I mean, with the struggles that he's had?
Oh, the great thing about Jacoby is he's a great player. Great players don't have multiple bad games in a row.
When you're in the regular season and this tournament hits, what is that mental shift that happens with you and the team?
Well, I think it's a new. First of all, we don't have many guys that have been in the NCAA tournament, and some of them, I mean, like Ray J. Dennis, it'll be his only chance to play in it. So you got a lot of guys that are really excited, and when players are excited about something, that's the first step because they're motivated and they're locked in, and really for the first time, they'll know what it's like to not be ready, because if you're not ready, you realize that this might be the last time you put on the uniform. Where you go to the Big 12 tournament, you know you're playing for either a 2 seed, maybe a 3 seed. You want to win the tournament, but it's not the last time you're putting on a jersey. So that all brings the heightened awareness and intensity to another level.
What about for someone like Jalen or Langston or Josh, who suffered the second round exit last year? Like, do you want them to focus on that and use that as fuel, or do you just kind of
our players talk to them. They share their thoughts and feelings and emotions. I think we're one of only 4 schools to win a first round game in the last 4 years too. So it's hard to win a game in the tournament. I mean, it's hard to get there. It's hard to advance. Everything's hard about it because there's good teams, good players. With us, again, I think controlling what we can control and making sure we're putting our best foot forward. We'll have a couple days to get prepared, get ready, and the good thing is our guys will get a chance to watch games a couple days before we play and get a feeling just to the excitement of March Madness. And the NCAA does a great job when you arrive at your hotels. They got them decked out with the NCAA stuff. It's just it's what you work so hard for.
You think the coach is going to get some barbecue? I mean,
Oh, of course we will. I don't know if it's Chubby's, if it's Rendezvous, what it is. We'll talk to Charlie.
Yeah, how much of game last night, I guess it was last night, the Grand Canyon game?
Well, unfortunately, the only thing that was tough with that one is we got back late. You were hoping to go to bed, and that thing didn't start till, 10:30? Yeah, so, but of course, stayed up, and then you're so excited for your brother you can't sleep. So I'm going to sleep well tonight. And I'm really excited for him and their program to win 29 games. And the pressure that's involved with that, like, I think at the Power 5 level, your January, February pressure, that's when you're playing to go to the tournament. That's really hard for 2 months. Those 2 days, 3 days you have to win in a row at a mid-major to get in the tournament. That's as tough as it gets. So I know the excitement they have because you win 29 games and not win one and you don't go.
What was going through your mind when their matchup came up? There's a 3 seed about to come up on the board. Are you hoping to see you guys there?
Well, Lenardi had them at 11, 12. He had us as the top 3, so I felt pretty comfortable that we weren't going to be playing. Now, if they would have been on. Yeah, if they would have been on the 14, 13, or the 14, 15 lineup, and then I'd have been a little more nervous. I think last year I was more nervous for that, to be honest.
Given that, obviously Big 12, best basketball conference, not every team made. I think at some point even 10 teams were playing. Did anything surprise you, teams like Oklahoma?
Yeah. Sorry.
You're good. Yeah. Did anything surprise you about just the field
Yeah.
overall in general, the
Yeah.
coordinators? Teams like Oklahoma, obviously any Big 12 team
Yeah.
probably made it.
I thought the Big 12 teams got seeded according to the body of work our league's done. The one surprise was Oklahoma. I didn't even think they were the last four in, or I mean, so when someone said they didn't get in, I was like, wait a minute. And so I don't know what happened there, because I thought our league deserved 9, and if I thought you could make a case for maybe even 10, but I feel for them.
Obviously, that second round matchup, you guys go up against Clemson, who their head coach kind of called out the conference in terms of that net ranking. What are your thoughts on that? And are you looking to maybe potentially prove that the Big 12's out there?
Well, one thing I can tell you about the NCAA tournament, you never look past the game you have. so we will be 100% focused on the first one. And I know everybody's entitled to their thoughts and opinions, and obviously the Big 12 net-wise, Ken Palm-wise, has been ranked really high, and because I'm a coach in the Big 12, I believe it's because it's deserved and earned. But again, I know Brad's a great coach and runs a great program, and I know, like all of us in the NCAA tournament, we're just excited that we're in, because it's why you work so hard, and it's what you want. I mean, you think about it, 363 schools, only 68 teams get to enjoy it. I mean, it's not where in football you have a much greater percentage, 500. I mean, that's a lot more people get to enjoy it. Our student athletes, I mean, you think about that, figure that percentage out. What is it, 28%? Something like that get to enjoy the NCAA tournament. It's numbers really low.
Is that kind of corresponding with the magic of it all, like stepping out on the court? What do you feel?
Most definitely. I mean, it's when you ask players that have graduated, what do they remember most? Maybe senior night, kissing the floor, or senior night, but it's usually the NCAA tournament.
Anything else?
So where are you guys going to barbecue in Memphis? Rendezvous. All right.